When most people first hear the Fool, they usually think it's a card meaning someone is like careless or foolish. But in Tarot, the Fool card actually represents new beginnings, freedom, curiosity, and stepping into a new chapter of life. See, the Fool is the very first card in the Tarot journey because it carries the energy of starting over with an open mind, trusting yourself, and learning through experience. In the image, the Fool is standing at the edge of a cliff with a small bag, symbolizing travel, potential, and the idea that we don't always have to know every answer before moving forward. So this card often appears when someone is entering a new phase in life, or they taking some type of a leap of faith, or being called to trust the unknown a little more. So today, y'all, I'm going to break down the deeper meaning of the Fool card and its symbolism and what it truly represents in Tarot. So, in a modern sense, y'all, the Fool card is the soul before the world gets its hand on it. Meaning, the Fool is the moment when you're starting over, trying something new, or stepping into a path you don't fully understand yet. It can show up when you leaving like an old version of yourself, or leaving that behind and walking into an unfamiliar territory. But esoterically, the Fool is deeper than taking a leap of faith, y'all. The Fool is the card number 0, and 0 represents pure potential. It is the empty space before creation. So it's like that blank page, the breath before the first word, the spirit before it becomes shaped by fear and doubt and rules and labels and expectations. So I want y'all to look at the cliff that the Fool is standing on. Now, this cliff does not just mean danger. It represents the edge between the known and the unknown. See, the Fool is standing at the border of the old life and the new life. See that small bag he carries? See, that shows that the soul does not need much to begin. Everything that's important is already within him, even if he has not learned how to use it yet. I'm sure we all have heard the saying that everything you need, all the answers you need are already inside of you. You can kind of relate that to the Fool card. But not to get all off subject. Next, I want y'all to check out the white dog that's standing like right there by his foot at the bottom. See, that white dog often represents instinct, y'all, or protection, or higher guidance. It's the part of you that senses danger automatically, but it also reminds you to stay awake. So when the Fool appears, it might be saying, you're not supposed to have the whole map yet. You are supposed to trust the first step. So if you ever get this card in a reading, the Fool can mean like a fresh start, freedom, innocence. It can also mean a spiritual awakening. And we already know it can mean a new journey. But y'all, I want you to really get this part. It can also warn you that you are not to be careless. See, faith is powerful, but wisdom still matters. That's why this is so deep. Because the deeper teaching of this is, the Fool is not someone who knows nothing. The Fool is someone brave enough to begin before they know everything. Now let's talk about the stick, or some people might call it a wand. But the stick that he's carrying, this represents willpower, movement, and spiritual energy. It shows that the Fool has the power to move forward, even if he doesn't realize it yet. Look at the white rose. This white rose represents innocence, purity, an open heart, and a desire that has not been corrupted. And corrupted by what, y'all? We know, fear or ego. And by the way, y'all, the Fool card is the card of air signs. If I had to be specific, I would line it up with Aquarius. But overall, it's known to fall under the umbrella with air signs. However, let's look at the sun. The sun represents divine light, life force, clarity, and protection. See, the Fool might not know the full path, but he is being illuminated. We all know that when you go out in that sun, it illuminates your entire body. Do y'all see the mountains that's in the background? Now, these mountains represents challenges, spiritual growth, and also lessons to come, meaning lessons ahead of us. So the Fool's journey will not always be easy, but it will help mature you. Now, check out his clothes. See, his clothes represents freedom, uniqueness, and the many experiences of our soul, y'all. It's like he does not fit into one box. Some like a free spirit. Let's check out the feather. Me personally, I associate any feather in your hair with my yacht. But that's for a whole different video. Anyway, with this feather can represent air or spirit, freedom, or messages from the higher realms, and the mind being open to new possibilities. Let's look at the yellow sky. See, yellow connects with awareness, hope, joy, and mental openness. The Fool is walking into life with fresh energy. He's not tainted. Let's talk about his upward gaze. The Fool often looks upward because it's a implication of showing faith, y'all, or optimism, vision, and the trust in spirit, God, or whatever you believe, you know. But the shadow side is that he may not be paying attention to practical reality. So if I had to summarize the journey itself, to me, the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana journey because he represents the soul before it meets the lessons of life. And them lessons gonna show up as love, power, shadow, wisdom, even enlightenment. So I'm gonna stop the video right here, y'all, and I'm gonna make a part 2. In part 2, I'm going to explain what this Fool card means in a love reading, career, and so on. Don't be afraid to drop down in the comments any questions you might have. And I just want to tell you I appreciate y'all for supporting me along this journey so far. And don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button.